Hey everybody, today we're going to make a 3-layer pork chop casserole. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the pork chops and season them on both sides with salt and pepper and it's not from Trader Joe's, but it's a everything bagel seasoning like you get at Trader Joe's, and I got it at Walmart. And it is a really delicious seasoning, so I'm going to use that front and back of my pork chops. No flour or anything. I'm just going to sear front and back of the pork chops, and then we'll come back and I will put the casserole together and let you see what goes into it. It is really simple to throw together. The hardest part is just searing the pork chops. So as soon as I get those done, we'll be back and we'll put the casserole together. So while I was browning the pork chops, I felt like for the amount of time they would be in the oven, they just wouldn't be as tender as what I wanted. So I went ahead and seared each one on each side. And then I put them, just the pork chops, a little bit of water, like several tablespoons, and the pork chops in the casserole dish, and I put it in the oven at 400 degrees. I'm going to leave it about a half hour to tenderize the pork chops more. You can test them after that time and see if they're tender enough for you or if you want to leave them more. But I just really felt like that those would not be tender enough if I didn't bake them a while. So that's what they're doing. And in the meantime, I'm going to... That's my fire detector. And I have a little smoke in the house, which I do from time to time. And hopefully my husband will wave that away in a minute. And I know it's annoying, and I'm sorry. So, I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to go. Can you do the smoke detector?
Yeah.
My husband is headed to do the smoke detector.
Huh?
Anyway, you know it's always exciting on my channel. So I'm going to put you down to the pan that Kaylin, I'm doing a video. Anyway, here is the pan that I did the pork chops in. It had just a little bit of grease left in it. Let me open this. It had like a tablespoon of grease left in it, which I left in there. Now I'm putting this bag of stovetop stuffing. It's the classic. And I'm putting almost 2 cups of water. And I'm going to cut off the burner. And what I'm doing is, it had a lot of really good flavor on the bottom of the pan, so I'm trying to get that flavor into the stuffing. So I've just put water and stuffing in the pan, stir it up real good. I've cut the burner off, as I said, and I'm going to let the stuffing sit here and absorb that water before we use it. And so when the pork chops come out of the oven, I will come back and we will put this together. The pork chops have finished cooking in the oven. I'll show you what they look like. I just took them out and they've gotten a lot tender, more tender. Let me go ahead and put the camera down. I did want to say that in all the excitement of the fire extinguisher or fire alarm going off and all, I forgot to add the butter to the the stuffing. So I put 2 tablespoons of butter into the stuffing and just stirred that up. So now, here is the pan that I used to put the pork chops in. It had a lot of pork chop broth in the bottom, which I did not want to waste. So I put it in this cup, and I'm going to pour it over the top when we get everything together, because the stuffing, I feel like, is a little bit dry, so that'll give it some really good flavor and moisten it up some. So what I'm going to do is take some long grain white rice, and I'm going to put just a thin layer on the bottom of the casserole dish. You don't want too much, because this will really puff up quick, and you'll just have too much rice and it just won't be that good, I don't think. So we have that thin layer of rice, and to that I took this can of cream of mushroom soup, and I put a can and a half of milk in with it and have stirred it up. Now we're going to pour this over the rice, and if you pour it with it hitting your spatula, it won't splash back up on you. So there's that, and it will, all that liquid will, your rice will cook in it, but I put enough liquid in there that you'll have a little bit of sauce with the liquid, instead of it just being cooked rice. So now we're going to put our pork chops in, and there are 6 pork chops, so I'm just trying to layer these as best as I can. Well, they're falling apart. They got so tender. That's just a little broth I'm pouring in. And so now I'm going to take this stuffing and put it over top. I had a different pan I wanted to use that was a little deeper, but it was dirty, so I just thought I would use this one, and hopefully it will work. I don't think I'm going to have room for all the stuffing. That looks like about all the room I'm going to have. I can just put that in a little casserole dish and put a little broth on it and stick it in the oven. Now I'm pouring this liquid over it that was in with our pork chops. That's going to be really good. And so I'll save this broth to go with our stuffing over there. And, oh, I wanted to show you, this is the everything bagel seasoning I used on the pork chops when I seared them. I wanted to be able to show you that. So we're just going to cover this back up. I've turned the heat down to 350, and I did let the pork chops cook for an hour. I was going to cook a half hour, but I let them go for an hour. So we've got that covered. And sorry, I'm going to stick it in the oven and let it cook for probably 45 minutes, just till I'm sure the rice is done. And then it will be all finished and we'll come back and give it a try. Hey y'all, so this video is one of those videos for me that what can go wrong does go wrong. And so when I went to put the stages of the video together, the tasting part was missing. And I think I forgot to click record. But anyway, I'm not going to taste it today because I already tasted it and ate it yesterday. But there is some left, and I'm going to show that to you and tell you what I thought. So I'm going to put it down just a little bit and hold this up for you to see. And this is what we have left. And so let me tell you about what I think about it. It is probably one of the best casseroles I've ever had. Putting the pork juice like I did over the top of the stuffing really gave it so much more flavor. With the rice, I did not use much rice at all, just the finest, thinnest layer of rice on the bottom. And you know, I put 1 can of cream of mushroom soup and then a can and a half of milk. I should have probably put 2 cans of milk because the rice soaked up all that liquid. So I would put 2 cans of milk if you do that. The rice cooked and it was good, but there was just really no a little bit of sauce or something with it, which I think it needs to be better. So whichever way you prefer it, to have a little sauce or not, just, you know, decide. The everything seasoning was so good with this. It really added so much flavor. And I suggest to use that on a lot of things you cook. Once you try it, you'll see what I mean about how good the flavor is. All together, all 3 layers together just worked so well. And I'm glad that I cooked the pork chops in the oven for a while covered before I put this together and baked it, because it made the pork chops just so tender they just fell apart. And that's how I like my meat, basically, is just where it falls apart. I don't like to fight with my meat. So my husband absolutely loved it. Kaylin hates casseroles. She hates them whether she's tasted them or not, because that's just how she is. But I talked her into trying it, and she'll always give me 2 thumbs up, or a thumb up and a thumb down, or 2 thumbs down, depending on what she's trying and what she thinks of it. And this casserole got 2 thumbs up. So that's it for it. Everything I can think of to tell you, it's just really, really good, and I feel like it's simple to make. So I appreciate you watching today. I'm sorry that I couldn't or didn't show you us trying it, but I hope this works for you. So have a great day. Take care of yourself. Be safe, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.